On the night of March 23, 2004, a man named John Sharp would commit an act so brutal it shocked all of Australia. After a heated argument with his wife, the two went to bed sometime between 9 and p.m., but while she drifted off to sleep, John lay awake, stewing in anger. Instead of calming down, he got up, went into the garage, and retrieved something horrifying, a spear gun he had recently bought. Quietly returning to the bedroom, he pointed the weapon at his sleeping wife and pulled the trigger, driving a spear into her head. But she was still breathing. Without hesitation, he reloaded the gun and fired a second shot, this time ending her life. He wrapped her in towels and left her body in the bedroom. Then, as if nothing had happened, he went downstairs and slept on the sofa. The next morning, he tried to pull the spears from her skull. When he couldn't, he unscrewed the shafts and left the metal tips embedded. That same day, he took his young daughter to daycare, then buried his wife in a shallow grave in their backyard. And the horror wasn't over. After picking up his 1-year-old daughter, he took her to the store. There, he bought one more spear, a final piece in his twisted plan. 4 days passed. Then, on March 27, 2004, after drinking heavily to numb himself, John laid his daughter down to sleep. With no hesitation, he fired the newly bought spear into her tiny head. She screamed. He panicked, and then, using the shafts he'd taken from his wife's skull, he fired 2 more spears into her. But she still wasn't gone. Desperate, he managed to remove one of the spears and shoot again, finally ending her life. The next day, he removed the spears, wrapped her body in trash bags, and dumped her in a landfill. Then, on March 29th, he bought duct tape, 2 tarps, and a chainsaw. He dug up his wife's body, dismembered it into 3 parts, and disposed of her remains the same way. It wasn't until June 22, 2004 that he was finally arrested. John Sharp was eventually convicted and sentenced to 2 life terms behind bars, a grim ending to one of the most shocking family murders in modern Australian history.